The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast for the first time in full colour video. And
unless you're watching it in black and white, because you can do that.
Black and white, or you're listening to just the audio version, in which case it's the same as it was always before. But
yeah.
Hey, these are the things. It's nice to be out here in the garden with a nice roaring fire. So anyway, I am Andy Walker. For those of you that don't know, and I'm here with my son Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello there.
Hello. And yes, we're trying to do this as a video thing. We're also trying out these immersive background things on Zoom, which is...
I've got to admit, it does look really weird, because I obviously, the whole way through this, I use my headset to there. It does look like I'm just blatantly in the garden trying to ignore you. Yeah.
The good thing is, though, no, hang on, I've got to get the right way. If we just sit and look at each other like that, it actually looks like we're having a conversation.
Yeah. But for anyone else, it's actually the opposite.
Our arms are cut off, which is the weird thing. But
so
anyway,
if I lift my arms up, my shoulders disappear.
Yeah. Anyone listening to the audio of this is going to go, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, but they might actually then go and watch the videos, because they go,
they might. All of the people who don't listen to us on the audio could go and watch the video instead.
Yeah. And all the people that don't do it either can carry on.
Yeah. Any road up. This week we are looking at three short...
I thought you'd frozen. I seriously thought you'd just frozen because you hadn't moved, and it bugged me then.
No, three short horror films this week, yes.
Yes.
And we're going to start with a film called The Snapshot, which was made in 2019, but wasn't actually put up onto YouTube until 2020. What we got? Thriller Factory Films, Hangar Studios, Thrave Productions. Now, this was made in Zagreb, in Croatia. Directed and produced, and the director of photography was Dario Radusin. Written by Alexander Kukarov, Dario Radusin, and Miroslav Radovic. There you go. The cast is Miroslav Radovic and Dubravka. I'll get it there in one day. Vilovic. I'm getting better at these.
I've got to admit, that was a hell of a lot better first time. Yes.
The music was also done by Alexander Kukarov. The synopsis is a man's fear of flying turns into a living nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
Do you know what? I had a bit of a weird feeling about this. I don't know why. It started off and my brain was, part of me was just going, no, I don't know about this, but I really liked it.
Yeah,
it's like there's hardly any speech in it.
No,
the only speech is really like the safety briefing.
Yeah,
in the beginning, and you hear sort of chatter from people in the background. But other than that, that's it. Now, I loved like we say normally, like the camera work, the lighting, to do that in such a small space, because it looks like it's filmed in an aircraft.
Yes,
actually in a plane.
Yeah.
The acting as well, I loved, because of the fact that it showed the different people that they were showing on the screen. it showed the different feelings that people have, not just of the main character, but the other people of how they feel when people feel like flying. There's people that are so confident, don't care, they're going to sit there, yeah, fall asleep. There's people that are still worried. There's still people that are paranoid about it. There's people that, like the priest that was praying that he actually takes off.
Yeah,
And I liked that. It wasn't all met. It wasn't. They're all chilled. They wasn't. They were. It showed everyone's fear of it. But what I liked is everything about it. It's just. It was so confusing. I wanted to know more on what was going on. If it was like, 'cause it could be used again, like we've seen with other films, as a start of another film or start of a longer film.
yeah. No, it's true. I thought it was incredibly well made. It's an intriguing film because it does make you go, what is going on? What is actually happening? What's this all about? I thought the effects were really good. The effects with the plane crash and that were really, really good. It was really well. It's well paced. It wasn't too slow or too fast. It was just about right for what it was. It worked really, really well. There was a good sort of kind of jump scare thing just before the end, which was kind of cool. And
what I liked about it as well is it wasn't all jump scares. It wasn't all like with a lot of films, with a lot of horror, especially horror films when it's about planes. They throw a lot of like turbulence, the thunder, lightning, the sort of the bits that people go and genuinely done with. But this, it was more of a. I would almost put it as like a thriller bit with the confusion of where the snapshots were, and then obviously when the lights go out, everything that happens. Then you sit there and go, "What's going on?" And it drew me in so much.
Definitely, and I like the ending as well because the ending was quite interesting the way it was done.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the fact that it felt like it could have been used for a feature film or for a longer film because it was almost like it'd be like, oh, these are unexplained accidents or crashes or whatever that these have gone on, and because of obviously the stack of books that were there, and it's just like it's almost like it could have been that someone's then going to investigate what's gone on and find out. And I just
it's one of those. It could be the beginning of a longer film, or it could be the end of a thing that leaves it kind of like wait for the second film and
that sort of cliffhanger of hang on. I was saying I really loved it. I loved the ending to it. My only thing was just I don't know if it was again my headset that I was listening to or what, but there was like the background music seemed a lot louder than some of the sound effects of like doing the belts and stuff like that.
I honestly think it's just the way that people actually record films nowadays. You find it in like short independent films, but you also find it in big major films as well. The music is so much louder and the effects are so much louder than the talking or the soundtrack, and it just kind of it does get annoying sometimes. Trying to kind of, especially when you've got something that's kind of like a bit like a thriller, a bit where it's drawing you in and you're kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then with the loud noises and loud music, it just kind of makes you kind of concentrate.
Yeah, so especially for this as well, because looking at the pictures, you're looking for the details that were in it. And you almost having to sort of, for me anyway, I had to sort of lean into the screen to see it a bit more. And I was like, and in the loud music, I was like, it pulled me away from it. And I don't like films like that. But I loved this film. Which is it's sort of really weird.
It's a really good film. I would recommend it to anyone.
Yes.
You do realise, of course, you're sounding like you're getting very old.
I know. I've realised this every time I talk now. I actually had a conversation with Amy the other day, and she just looked at me, and it worked. She didn't even say anything, but she just looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna say, do you know how old you sound, don't you?" And she was like, yeah, I was like, don't.
It comes to us all in the end. It's one of those things. It's like I still remember to this day the thing of standing at the bottom of the stairs, shouting up the stairs to your sister, "Will you turn that rubbish down?" I wouldn't mind, but she was playing Meatloaf at the time.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's the fact that I have found myself with the kids here that they sit there and listen to stuff, and I'm like, I'm sitting across the room from them. I'm like, would you turn that down? And I'm like, even Mum sat here at one point and just looked at me, starting to sound like your dad. I'm like, cheers.
Just realised I haven't got my light on. Things are
I thought
starting to get. Things is getting a bit dark in here. I can't see what I wrote.
so it's the contrast of where we are. Is the fact it's getting dark with you on. I've had to close my curtain to stop the light coming.
Well, we've only got little tidgy windows, haven't we? And they've got trees in front of them.
Yeah, we did have until I spent days doing the garden and stuff.
We can't cut ours down like you have. Anyway, so the snapshot. Yes, good film. Check
Yes.
it out on YouTube. The second film, I chose this film just because I thought the title was fantastic.
Yes.
It's my love of old science fiction B movies and horror movies. Love it. Attack of the Brain Sucker.
Yeah, he is very. I will say for anyone that talks very quickly like I do sometimes, it is a very, very easy film to screw up the title. I've mentioned it to 4 people and I've called it different things. I called it once, I was talking to Amy about it, and I called it Attack of the Brain Mucker.
Well, good job it was that way. That was made in 2012. And it was originally screened at Screenfest.
Yes.
It's written by Sid Zanforlin, and it was done by, Sid Zanforlin Voyeur Films, written and directed by Sid Zanforlin. The cast is Kayana Fielding, Alex Weiner, Arthur Holden, Janine Theroux, where are we? Neil Napier and Jeff Lefebvre. Produced by Mary Claire Lalonde and Martin Henry. Made in Canada, did you say?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think I'm judging mainly from the facts that were at the end of it as well. It's either America or Canada, but I think it was more Canada. Canada.
The synopsis is, pray he doesn't get inside your head. Samantha, a little girl growing up in the 60s, loves classic B movies and monsters. That is, until they start to invade her bedroom and her obsession compels her parents to seek help from the latest scientific breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's an odd beginning to it because it starts off in black and white like an old sci-fi movie type thing. But it's a very interesting film because it's slightly bizarre and you don't quite know what's going on at different points through the film. You're kind of going, hang on a minute, what's that about and why is that happening and what's going on there? But it is an interesting film. And the thing I liked about it was the fact that right at the end, it comes up with this kind of thing that shows it's actually a real life message.
Yeah.
It's about children who were
lobotomized
in doctor's surgeries in the 60s, and it's just
it's the quote that done me on it, and because I read the fact and I wrote it down. It's the fact that their way of trying to justify it was to cure mental health it was to cure mental health in as easy as curing a toothache.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
But I mean, I don't know if they did it the way they did in the film, but if they did, where they shoved a metal spike through their eye.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's more up, but from what this is going to be very bizarre and tell a lot more people about the stuff that I do. But when I was at school, we did a bit about this because we were doing with one of my history projects, and I was talking to my history teacher about it, and one of my other teachers, and we looked it up. And what they used to do is the tear duct, because it's the fact that it's an easier route. It used to be sort of in the corner of your eye, and they push it back a bit. The spike was meant to be like a lot thinner, and it would go through, and basically it would just sever the retinal, or not the retinal, the nerve in your brain that was meant to be. But it used to go sort of further back, not up. But it's like the needles for supposedly real life were like not as thick as they are in this film. They are still quite chunky pieces of metal.
Like a knitting needle.
Almost. They're pretty much like the biggest standard needle you can get, almost. Like the ones that do, like probably.
I know what you mean.
Like almost pencil size.
Yeah.
It would be like that. And it's just, but the fact that obviously this whole film is such a great film anyway.
Oh, it is. It's
But then
so well done.
to throw the facts at the end of it to almost an extra shock factor
Yeah,
because of the fact that they were saying, like, was it in the space of a year? There was almost 3,000 people
yeah,
that had this operation done, and like 14% of them were kids under the age of 13.
yeah.
And it's just like, what?
But the thing I loved was they take that as a starting point.
Yeah.
Because there's so much else going on in the film.
Oh, yeah.
To do with the girl and her brother and her relationship with her dad and her mum. And
the whole sort of grief factor and
yeah,
how people deal with grief and stuff. But again, as much as this film stands on its own, the acting from that little girl.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've said this before. With a lot of these films if they've got kids in them, have got amazing actors in them.
Yeah.
This film to have that sort of that acting ability for acting out mental health, for acting out, and not actually possibly have it anyway, but having to do it so well is amazing. And I genuinely hope that she carries on acting because she will be an amazing actor.
Definitely. She is quite incredibly good. To be honest. It's a really good film, and it's a really. I think it would be a good film without the facts at the end that put it into the real world. But with that, it kind of adds something extra to it that makes it even better.
It's because I was saying, for me, I sat there and I was like, okay, yeah, it's just, especially on the mental health side, I was like, I understand. And then obviously the end bit is like, because there was no way of proving the fact that the lobotomy bit would stop the mental health stuff. It would stop the people from basically talking and opening it and acting out. So there was no way of finding that. And I love the fact that they showed that. Yeah. The fact that it was sort of that feeling of no matter how much you think you can get over something, it's never going to go away, the grief feeling. It just becomes easier, but not easier, but sort of it becomes sort of you'd be able to deal with things a lot better.
You learn to cope with it.
You learn to cope with it. And the fact that obviously there's quotes like that in the film, like they've sent some, like when they said about the kid, the parents was talking about sending the previous child away and what happened there, and then obviously the other bits and how, and also the fact, like I said, how it affects people differently. And the parents are looking at it, and the fact that one of them might blame themselves on a different relationship they've got, but it affects the sister or the daughter, so much differently than it would do anyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just, I loved everything about this film, especially the makeup on the older brother.
Yeah, the makeup and that on him and on her after she had the lobotomy.
It's not even like it was a pan around and it was the bit where he slid the skin off his face.
Yeah.
I genuinely, and I've seen a lot of horror films and even feature-length films and feature films that I've gone, the makeup's rubbish, but that, it was like, that genuinely looked real.
It did. It looked really good. Everything about that film was really good. I'm surprised. I know I shouldn't be because of the fact we find it so often, but I'm quite often surprised at how good a lot of these independently made, low-budget short films are.
Yeah.
And I know, partly it's because it's made with love and it's made with care, but it blows me away. Absolutely blows me away.
This is the things I'm saying, but I sit there and I'm like, with feature-length films I've sat and watched, and I'm like, where was the money spent?
Yeah.
It's like, I sit there and I've watched, don't get me wrong, I've watched a god lot of awful B movies and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And like, as a lot of people, if they've listened before and we've said before, Human Into the Deep spent a lot of money. There's no way on earth that it was anywhere on the film, unless it was just Doug McClaw's money.
Yeah, I can't see it costing that much.
It's like films like that, they'd have a big budget, but it doesn't look like it's being used. But these short films where a lot of them are GoFundMe pages or ones that are sort of funded by other people. Or
Yeah.
they've done little bits sort of throughout a year because they've been had to get 500 quid, the 500 there, or an extra 1,000 there, or 200 there, and they've been able to film that little bit of the scene.
Yeah.
And yet these films stand so much above a lot of feature films.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I just, as we've said before, I'd like to see what some of these people could do with a good budget.
Yeah.
You know. But yes, so it's Attack of the Brain Sucker. Go and check it out on YouTube.
Yes.
The third film is a British film called The Chippy from 2020.
Yeah.
It's Pantopic Films and MYM, which is the Million Youth Media, which is a youth media project helping young people in inner cities to make films and to do things like that to help them kind of learn ways to get out of the problems of inner cities. It's also, also partly funded by the BFI network. The writer and director was Louis Norton Selzer. Main casters Jordan Nash and David Sharl. There are other people in the film, but they are the two main characters. The synopsis. It says, The Chippy is a horror short film that takes place after Dion Williams goes missing, and he's not the first to go missing. Dion's mates have their theories on who might have done it, but there is one suspect that stands out the most: the shady proprietor of the rundown chip shop on the edge of the estate with the lisp and the unusual skin condition. Something just ain't right about him. Dion's brother Junior resolves to go in and find out the truth.
Yeah.
Da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was well made. It makes good use of like cut editing. It's sort of like, you cut in between scenes and things like that, which is really good. The lighting inside the Chippy was very good. It had such a kind of constricted sort of like feel to it.
Yeah, very sort of confined.
Yeah,
way it was lit up. The thing is as well with the the flickering of the lights above the counter, and it added so much atmosphere to that place.
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's fantastic for the type of film it is and for what it's been made for. I think it's a fantastic film. But I would say it was a good film, but it wasn't great.
No,
there was something kind of missing from it, and I don't know what it was. That's the thing that annoys me, when I can't work out what it was that was missing.
Yeah. I don't know. It almost seemed almost obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was still, like you said, it was still a good film. But I do agree. There was something missing, but it's hard to put your finger on what.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, and I would recommend for people to go and watch it. I mean, it's a good film. The way, I mean, it's made well, it's acted well. There's nothing wrong with anything on it as such, but it's just, there is just something about it that just doesn't quite feel quite complete somehow.
Yeah. So it's another film that I like because of the fact that, like we said, because of the fact it's helping young kids, but the kid actors that are in it are very well done and very, very good actors.
Oh, they are definitely.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. It's not, don't wrong. It doesn't take away from the film.
No,
it don't sit there and go to your film and go, if you don't watch it, don't sit there and go, there's something missing straight away. It might just be the fact that we missed it. But
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's just, there was something. But other than that, I really liked it. It was a very, very well done film, and very, I like the idea behind it as well.
It kind of reminded me a bit of there used to be these kind of old I say old, there used to be these kind of TV series that had sort of individual episodes, and each episode was a kind of supernatural sort of mystery kind of story.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of an episode of one of those things, more than a film. But I mean, that's not to say it wasn't any good.
No.
But it just kind of reminded me of an episode from one of those sort of TV series.
It's to say it doesn't take away from the film at all, but there is definitely something, in our opinion, that there is something missing. Something missing,
and as you say, it could well be just that we've missed something, or that we weren't paying attention enough to something to get it, or it could just be that we're just not
the right age to watch it.
We're not the right demographic. It could well be that we're just stupid. It could well be, that for that microsecond the thing happened, or that the thing that would complete it for us was on the screen. We was thinking about cheese.
That was weird that we both said cheese. Wow. That's scary.
It is scary.
For anyone that doesn't believe us, by the way, this is completely unscripted. This is just us.
We are in two completely separate houses.
Yeah. Two completely houses in different parts of the county.
Yes.
Like, it's not like we're sitting next to each other or anything. Well, we are on the screen, but
we're in different London boroughs.
Yeah.
There you go. So yes, so that's the Chippy. Watch the Chippy. So we got Snapshot, Attack of the Brainsucker, and the Chippy. I will, as always, there will be links to those films along with the podcast for people to check out the films as they wish. And so go and check them out. If you disagree with us, let us know. If you think we're talking complete and utter balls,
we do, but there's just
droppy bits, then that's fine. Just tell us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Alternatively, let us know if you think we're wonderful. Another
I know that would never happen.
There's always the vague possibility that there might be one person somewhere in the world who not only has the bad taste, but also the lack of ability
morals
to stop themselves saying something, to be able to say that they like us.
Yeah, do you know the only problem is with that? It would be the one person that doesn't have access to the internet and lives in a cupboard in a rundown house.
You mean James?
No, not. He's got access to the internet.
Yes, so I would say yes. Urge you all to watch these films, because that's what these people make them for.
Yes.
What is making something like this? If no one's going to watch it, go out and watch it. Mind you,
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say
that.
We've been doing this with no one's watching it or listening.
Yeah. Listening figures of about 3 and a dog.
3 and 2 of them are us to make sure he's playing okay.
Yeah. So yes, I hope this has worked as an experiment for us to do this on video. We will be doing it again, because there's no point in doing an experiment just the once and seeing if it works, because you don't get, look at that, the end's gone all funny, look, wee, oh, I've gone all wee, oh, look, anyway,
gone all Southeast London.
I know, well, I've gone all something or the other. So yes, check them out. And next week, hopefully next week, sometime in the future, within the next millennia, we will be recording another one of these, in which we will be reviewing 3 short science fiction-y type filmies.
Yes.
Because that's what we do.
And I might even try and convince Amy to do one now we're doing videos.
Amy on the screen?
Yeah, she's not 100% sure, because she doesn't like.
You might not be able to do it like this, though. Because if
No.
the two of you were on the same
No, what we've decided we do, we use separate devices. That way we can have all three of our faces straight on. And she can sit everyone can see her laugh and she goes on one when me and Dad go on a rant.
she can sit in the middle of us and keep us apart. Or something. So yes. Also, I was going to say, I had a massage.
Was it nice?
No, not really. I don't know what I'm looking at now. You ever have this thing where you get messages on your phone and you don't know where you look for them?
Yeah, constantly.
Somewhere on here, I have a message. I can't even speak. Right. Yes. The people who did the film Butchers.
Oh yes.
People who did the film Butchers. I got a message to say that they are working on a new film. It's a Christmas film. It's called One Christmas Night in a Toy Store. They have an Indiegogo project page up, which I will put a link to for everyone to go and have a look. And we both like Butchers. It was a good film. We did a good review of that. It was a good film to watch, and we did a good interview with two of the stars of the film. And so yes, so have a look out for Butchers, which is on Amazon Prime at the moment. And then keep an eye out for this One Christmas Night in a Toy Store. And as I say, I'll put a link up to the Indiegogo page so that people can check that out. Other than that, I'd like to thank Scott for being here.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank our production company, Thrave Productions, for putting us on video and putting us on air and all that kind of thing.
Giving us the ability for more people not to listen.
Absolutely. I've never had such a wide variety of ways for people to ignore me.
Yeah.
So yes, and check out another podcast if you like music of any kind. There's a podcast called on this channel as well called Talking Music with Big Andy, and lots of different bands on there that I interview and show clips of videos from. And we are the Sciforror Film Podcast.
We have got a Facebook page.
Yes,
somewhere.
We have a
Facebook, obviously.
On Facebook, there is a group which is called the Sciforror Film Network, which is to do with this podcast, but also if people come along to there, you can talk about your own films or other short films that you like, and then maybe we could check them out. Know what you think of this?
Yeah, there's a place for everyone to basically talk, interact, do stuff like that. We've got people on there. For someone on there who was advertising someone's film posters made. Yeah. It's a network, obviously, for everyone and us to be.
Yes. So yeah, if you like short films or you know, like science fiction or horror films of any kind, and you just want to sort of like join with people who are like-minded, then come along and join. Just you start chats or anything. It's not a very prescriptive group. You just have to be kind and nice to people. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's just to say, it's for a group of like-minded people that are interested in film, that where you can sit, chat, branch out, network, everything that most places need.
Just. So, that is it for our first video and audio edition.
It's not our first audio, but it's the first video.
No, first one that's video and audio.
I was going to say, we've recorded loads before this in audio. Please tell me you've actually put.
You haven't been listening to them either.
I've listened to a couple. I'm not allowed to listen to the one with Amy's voice because she has a gap.
Why?
Because she doesn't like the sound of her own voice, so she doesn't listen to it.
Listen to it on headphones. So yes, any road up. I was going to say next. I can't remember. Yes. So,
proof again, it's not scripted because he forgets what he's about to say.
Thank you, Scott, for being involved in this.
It's all right. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me join this. I was going to say, don't start. You were involved.
Oh, I was involved, yes, but only at the beginning. I can tell you about that if you want.
No.
Okay. Any road up. Yes, onwards and upwards. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching, depending on which you have been doing, or if you've been doing both. You could do both. You could do that and see how out of sync you can get them. Make it really freaky.
Especially if you edit bits out of the audio and not out of the video. That would freak them out.
I very rarely edit anything out of anything.
I know, but I'm just
I'm one of the laziest editors you could possibly find. So that'll do. Any road up, as I say, we have been the Sciforror Film Podcast. We hope to see you again. Well, hope that you see us again soon and listen to us again soon. And send us some kind of message. Let us know you're either watching or listening, what you think of it, or what you think of us, or whether you think we should
stop.
or do something else with our lives that's far more meaningful.
Yeah. Send us an email, leave us a comment, send us a message on Facebook, smoke signals if you want to.
Carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon, yeah. I don't know, any dolphins. There you go, send some dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, they're very intelligent.
Message pigs, they're quite good.
Message pigs.
You tattooed a message on the back of the pig and then just send it to us. So until next time, we would say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.